BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an gestural implant, 68 milligrams radiopaque. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Live from New York. I'm about to say something that is going to feel like a violation.
Okay.
But is 100% true. Nick was due to get a haircut, and his hairdresser canceled him.
I wouldn't say hairdresser, but yes, I'm going to go tomorrow.
Is that the one with the highlights in?
There's no highlights.
Is it a barber?
What? Yes.
It is?
Yeah, it's a barber.
What's his name?
It happens to be a woman.
Okay.
It's a hairdresser.
It's a hairdresser. It's okay.
Beautician, hairdresser.
it's a hair.
Go
It's okay.
ahead.
It's not a big
Go
deal.
ahead.
So then he claims, like, I'm going to shave my head.
No, I didn't say that. I said the only reason I'm not is because we'd have to redo all of our show photos.
But you claimed you were going to. I do not think that you have the right to do that without consulting Brewer. I think that sounds like a violation, but if I'm like, hey, I'm going to dye my hair.
We all are invested in it.
We are.
Really
you can't mess up my career.
Let me tell you something.
If you shave your head,
I agree.
my career sinks.
Well, that's what they say about your career. Every choice in the world, every choice you've ever made your entire life has led to your career hinging on a 40-year-old grandfather with a gambling problems and hair choices.
Look, it's not hinging.
We got to check the bylaws.
Yeah.
I think that's in the bylaws.
You're
All right,
kinda
fair,
like Joe,
fair.
it's like Joe Alt. It's like, I can still make it work, but man, it's going to be tough. First hour, first things first. Today, A.J. Brown comments on his own comments. The real question, does this actually affect the Eagles? Meanwhile, Mahomes rested and ready to go against the Broncos. Is Kansas City in trouble if they lose? I'll let you know via machinations of the Athletics playoff predictor. And finally, the most motivational segment in all of sports, the Budless. What is that a shot of? I missed that. Was that Josh Allen throwing the ball?
I think that, yes, it was.
It looks beautiful. What a shot that was.
You surprised that Josh Allen could throw?
No, I just like
nice
new shots.
pass?
The ball is flying through the air like it was NFL films. It was an amazing job. Alongside Nick Wright, who has long, beautiful hair. I'm Kevin Wilds. Brewer, anybody on the bubble of the Bud List?
There were several. Darnold, Josh Allen. There's a lot of QBs that got to step up.
Oh, okay.
Exciting.
Darnold played well last week, but Josh
He actually didn't do much.
Yeah,
Statistically.
I mean,
they were up
so yeah, it was
35-0.
such a rout.
We're starting with A.J. Brown answering comments about his comments. Yesterday, A.J. answered reporters at his locker and said he's not apologizing for critiquing the Eagles' offense on a Madden stream. Take a listen.
If we're really focusing on winning and doing our job, like, we can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over defense doing their job and getting us out of trouble. Like, at what point are we going to pick up our slack as an offense that we're so great, you know? And that's what I'm getting at. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stat. No, it's been week after week sometimes we're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over that and you expect to win late in the year and you think you're going to go to it at the end of the year. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, and last year, what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season.
Eagles this season, bro. Look, 12th in points, 25th in passing yards, not great. 16th in long passes, and 16th in
13th.
Or 13th in touchdowns with 16. So you would think they would be dead last in everything, but they're not. Your reaction to AJ's recent comments?
Do you guys remember the Jerry Springer show?
Of course.
Roy Povich, things like that,
yeah.
right? And they would
Ricky
always
Lake.
have Ricky Lake, whatever. They'd have these couples go on the show and talk about what they don't like about each other, what the other one has to do
Then
better.
the furniture starts moving.
Right. And I would sit there, not that I watched them a lot, but when I'd seriously, I wasn't like watching a lot. I was covering the NBA at that time.
Oh, sure.
But
Afternoon games.
no, but I would just be like, if you really wanted to fix your relationship,
You would go.
the last thing you do is go on national TV
great point.
and air your dirty laundry about each other. He did this, she did that. I mean, you want attention. That's what I'd say. If you really want to fix the relationship, you talk to each other privately, you go get counseling privately or whatever it is.
Good point.
And that's what the situation is here. I do think AJ wants to win, wants the ball. I got no problem with him wanting to shine because I think he's a Hall of Fame caliber receiver. So I get him wanting to put up those numbers, but this is immature. The only way this is passable to me is if he's going to Jalen.
If he's done everything private.
Yeah, trying to talk to Sirianni, and they're ignoring him, not putting him in the game. Yeah, whatever, AJ. And he has no recourse. But you know what? I got to go nuclear and say it. But I don't think that's the case. He even said that's not the case. I watched the whole interview. He said it's constant communication with him and Sirianni, the OC, Jalen. He didn't even blame Jalen. Like a reporter actually gave him an opportunity. I don't even think it was a gotcha thing, but he was like, we see a lot of videos where you're open and Jalen's not throwing it to you, throwing it elsewhere. You think he's not. He's like, no, it's because you can't tell from one still shot. He's got reads and he's under pressure and things like that. So he didn't take a shot, but this is just not the way you settle it. And I'm starting to believe that AJ, and again, I got no problem with him wanting to cook and put up great individual numbers. I'm starting to wonder if he looks at his numbers like, I got two catches. I got 4 catches for 50 yards. And he's embarrassed. And it's like he wants to give an explanation for why. Like, don't just think I can't do it anymore. Don't just think I've lost it. I'm going to tell you why my numbers are so pedestrian.
So here's why I don't think – I agree with almost everything you said until the very end, which I know is not even – you're not even
and
saying –
I'm just
right,
wondering,
it's a hypothetical or a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Certainly possible. It wouldn't be my guess is, I guess, what I'm saying. Because this is an instance of the way the message is being conveyed is just objectively wrong. A.J. Brown going on Twitch or Instagram or Twitter to aggressively, passive-aggressively confront the issues with the offense is not the right mechanism. We can all agree on that, while I think, maybe not all agree, but I at least feel his point that there is something wrong with the offense is unequivocally true. Week 1, they scored 3 second-half points. Week 2, they scored on offense 3 second-half points. Week 3 against the Rams, they're down 26-7 before they kick it into gear. Week 5, they have 0 points the final 28 minutes against the Broncos. Week 6, they have 0 second-half points against the Giants. They then briefly, I think it was the Vikings, and then who'd they blow out? Oh, the Giants when they played them again.
Yeah, 38.
Right, it looked good.
Because remember, go ahead.
And then week 10, after it's like, oh, maybe we're on the right track now after a bye and 2 good games, 0 first-half points against Green Bay. You cannot have the most expensive offense in the history of the NFL, which they do, that's healthy for the most part, that has guys in the primes of their career for the most part, and lead the league in 3 and outs, as they do, amongst these other teams, all of whom, if we're being honest, have massive quarterback questions, which we don't think Philly has, and be 4th most in the NFL on drives that end in a punt, again, surrounded by teams.
That's a crazy one.
With massive quarterback questions. There is something wrong with the offense. So his point, I think, is correct. The way he's making it is pretty immature and ridiculous. That's the point I would make.
And I agree with you that the offense does need to improve. However, you pointed out halves.
Yes.
I mean, Green Bay was a full game, 10 points. But they scored 33 against the Rams, who are a Super Bowl contender. They scored 31 against Tampa Bay. It was odd because it was their great one half, their poor the next. But they scored 38 against the Giants, who, have some defensive talent. I mean, they've put up points 28 against another.
I think it was the Vikings. I forget the 28 point
28
game
against the Vikings. So I don't. I agree that he makes good points. Look, you're idiotic if you don't try to get the ball to A.J. Brown, but I think they're trying, and I don't think they're going out of there like we got a great receiver, just like we got Devontae. And they're not ignoring him. He's certainly in the game plan. But Jalen, because of reads or whatever it is finding other guys. And they don't throw a lot as it is.
Yeah, but when he first got, and I think the other thing that frustrates him, and then I'll let you go, KW, I'm sorry. When he first got there, he set the NFL record for most games in a row with 125 yards with Jalen. Mm-hmm. And he was all pro because of his numbers and Jalen and the connection. And now when you look at A.J. Brown's season-long stats, and it's more, I think, impactful, the ranks. A.J. Brown's not in the top 40 in anything. He's not in the top 50 in catches. Like, that is bizarre, right? And so,
there's no doubt he has a point.
Definitely has a point.
It's just the way it's being conveyed.
My issue is with Kevin Patullo. And I think this game, he has to draw something up against the Lions. The Lions have a package to get Penei Sewell a target. The Lions have a package. Like, you know what we need to do? Get the ball in Jared Goff's hand as a receiver. Yeah. So the idea that you have a game plan against the Packers, which only has 3 targets for A.J. Brown, and the Lions are going to have a package where it's like, let's get Penei the ball. Let's get him the ball on the outside and see what he can
Skipper.
do. Yeah, there's multiple plays for Dan Skipper. He has to have something. It's a little squeaky wheel gets the oil at this point. But if he goes through another round of just like, oh, you know what? Turns out, it's man coverage. Like, we can't get the ball. You have to draw up something wacky to get him the ball. If he doesn't, I don't know where this bubble's up to. I don't know if we're just at sort of already at boiling and it can't boil more. 2
of his biggest targeted games, and they weren't like he's had several with 8 or 9 targets, but 2 of them were the losses. I just think you have to be careful. You obviously want to get him the ball. He's your number 1 receiver. As good as Devontae is, he's your number 1 guy.
Right now, do you think?
But you can't. I don't think you can just go out of your way and obviously force stuff to him. He should just be in the game plan
force it to him. I would force. He's
not going to be happy either way.
Force him. There's 1,000. I know the NFL is like the hardest thing in the world, the top league. But I've also seen clips where like Gronk goes over to Brady, like, "Hey, I'm a catch away from millions." Like, "Oh, okay, I'll get you a ball." "No, sure, no problem." Like Travis Kelce just rolls over and Mom's like, "Hey, I'm open." I go like this, and Mom's like, "Oh, like that?" Like, boom, done. How long do we have to sit in a dark room for 24 hours to find a way to get one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the world?
You don't think they're ignoring him, do you? What do you think it is? I mean, he's clearly in the game plan.
Part of me thinks it's like I said before, plays not players, and it should be reversed.
I think they have been way too careful.
Well, that's I
Sirianni's
think that going crazy with the turnovers.
Which is the turnovers.
That's coach's view don't let Jalen throw.
Right, and they have been. You see it in the stat that I brought up the other day that they run the ball on 3rd and long more than any team this century. You see it in. I think we all can agree. This is not a shot at your guy. But Jalen Hurts' current touchdown to turnover mark, which you guys showed us the list he's on, that doesn't really line up to the caliber of play Jalen Hurts has had this year. But it is he is it is
a turnover stat, right?
Right. It's just he has a bunch of touchdowns and some of them rushing, but still they count touch, and it's not turning the ball over at all. And I'm not saying they are doing that to boost Jalen's stats. I'm saying that stat is a result of what is if it is not an absolute dire situation, if it's not wide open, don't throw the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that is. I think that
let him air it out a little.
Right. I mean, you can't have all of these halves of football without scoring. And at AJ's point,
but they won most of those. I mean,
no, I know
the Broncos game was a disaster.
No, they're 7-2. But I think in a single elimination sport, it is very risky to go into it without having real reps of the offense being explosive, as you know it has the personnel to be.
Yeah.
And with the bet, right now is A.J. Brown the most talented player on the offense?
Yes.
On the whole offense, right?
Yeah, I would say
Saquon.
I mean, but the
talent, Saquon.
is he?
But
Is
he's
Saquon right? Is
Saquon.
A.J. Brown arguably the best player on their offense? Certainly, arguably. You got to get it. He can't be 50th in the league and everything.
We should dig into a little bit, but Sirianni has been talking about limiting turnovers.
So much.
He's like a money ball, like he's figured out some sort of like wrinkle in the statistics.
Yeah, I mean, this is
limiting.
Look, he won the Super Bowl.
He wins, and he wins Super Bowl.
And it took the genius of Sirianni to be like, you know what? In the NFL, when teams win the turnover battle, they win the game. I mean, that's
all right, Patrick Mahomes preparing for the Broncos and thanking the Bills. After the Chiefs lost to Buffalo, a few Bills players revealed some flaws in the KC offense that Mahomes thanked them for. Take a listen.
I didn't necessarily see it, but I mean, obviously, if he said it, he saw something, and so we'll be better at looking at things like that. I appreciate the info so that we can be better at that as the season goes on.
Chiefs this season, weeks 1 through 3, 20 points.
free tackle that turned the tide.
Yes, I didn't do it. This was just I'm not saying tackle turn the tide is dead, but this is independent of that.
Well, this proves it.
Weeks 4 through 8, 4
Because the
15.
post tackle that turned the tide.
It was week 9.
But
Well,
then
week 9,
I don't know what
Buffalo.
happened.
Listen, even the tackle that turned the tide can't overcome another team's Super Bowl. Everybody knows
I
that.
didn't know the carve-outs. Do we expect the Chiefs offense to look good in Denver?
Maybe not. Certainly not look great. This is not a Patrick Mahomes go crazy type of game. This is actually, I think, a very similar game plan to the one I encouraged against Jacksonville, which, by the way, the offense did end up scoring a lot of points, and it would have worked, but Patrick made a huge mistake. Say it again?
For both teams.
Yeah, I mean, I would have gotten there, but thanks, KW. Quick throws and no mistakes. Yeah. And I think 21 points wins and covers. And I know the Chiefs don't care about the cover. This guy, coming off another 1-2 week, cares about the cover. Because I don't think Denver's going to crack 17 against this defense. And so, I mean, 17
That's
would,
fair.
Given how, because it's not just Andy Reid off a bye, it's also Steve Spagnuolo. And I think that it is, we had the conversation yesterday, what does a Chiefs loss, if they lose, what does it mean? Who's there more pressure on? And while a loss would be regular season-wise devastating, I don't think any of us would come on here Monday and be like, Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs if they lose.
No, they still have a high percentage.
You checked the athletic playoff predictor? Good. I think even if they win, but Patrick Mahomes gets a high ankle sprain in this game because he gets hit 11 times, all of us would come on and say they certainly can, maybe likely will. I think that Josh Simmons' first game back in a month, Jawan Taylor off an injury, the best pass rush potentially in NFL history. I do not think this is going to be a high-flying offensive game. I think it's going to be quick passes, ball control, cautious, and trust that Bo Nix is not going to put up enough points to win. That's my honest analysis of this. As much as I'd love Patrick to drop 40 on him, I don't think that's realistic in this game.
I tend to agree. You know, the one thing is with Reid, he's so good after a bye, 22-3, I think the best record ever, that you wonder, could he dial some things up that really expose Denver? But I would expect it to be a hard-fought game, relatively low scoring. And if they get pressure, I mean, for Denver, your only path is to get pressure on Patrick. We saw what the Bills did. Here's Mahomes' graphic stats against pressure this year and where he ranks. So, I mean, I know you could, that completion percentage is low.
Yeah.
And
39
yards per
back.
pass, everything. So if they can consistently get pressure, which, look, Josh Simmons, I don't know if it's 100%.
I think he's
I
going
would
to play.
expect him to play.
But rusty.
yeah, he might be rusty.
Yeah.
It's been like 40 days or something since he played. So that's what makes this game really intriguing to me is if they get a rush on him consistently, then I think it could be up in the air for Denver to win.
Can I see your blitzing graphic and raise you a graphic?
Sure.
Cool, right?
Oh, there's a poker thing. Yeah.
Highest pressure percentage without blitzing. It was the Bills who gave Mahomes fits before the bye, and then the Broncos are at 40%. So I'd be stressed out about it.
Yeah,
and I am as a Chiefs fan.
Oh yeah, listen, but you're in a weird spot though, KW, because you're not actually a Chiefs fan, and you're really not a Chiefs fan because you're a fan of a true contender in the AFC. It's in your Patriots' best interest for the Chiefs to win.
Really?
For one seed purposes, yeah.
But
because Denver,
here's why I disagree. After you go,
I mean, unless you're going to say if they lose, they're going to miss the playoffs.
Like that's your hope.
It's hard for them to miss the playoffs.
No, I'm not saying you think they will, but the chances do increase if they lose. Like look, the teams, they think they can beat anybody.
Yeah.
I get that. But privately, if I'm one of these teams and you give me true serum, I'm hoping somehow, some way the Chiefs don't make the playoffs. Then it's wide open.
I totally agree. Like for Buffalo and Baltimore, they're just rooting against the Chiefs every week. I'm talking about for the teams for Denver, Indy, New England, who are right now vying for the 1 seed. They want the other teams vying for the 1 seed to lose.
I would rather not have the 1 seed and Kansas City not be in the playoffs.
It's tough for them to miss it.
I think they'll make it.
Even if they lose back-to-back.
Wilds has just been crunching the athletic playoff predictor.
Like all of a sudden,
Wilds
trying to get
here's what we learned.
I'm trying to get
Wilds is trying to find the combinations. But here's the problem. For the Chiefs to miss the playoffs, Jacksonville's got to go on a winning streak.
No way.
And nobody thinks they're going to.
I mean, what if Pittsburgh hangs in there?
But they play Baltimore's the problem. So, they would have to, one of them's going to knock the other one out.
I'm going to give you the link. It's fun. It's great.
You don't even consider it.
Patrick Mahomes, 6-1 off of a bye. Thunder beat the Lakers by almost 30 to score at halftime, 70-38. Luka didn't get to 20. SGA scored 30. Thunder still not whole by any means. Here's Luka postgame.
Definitely wasn't our best game. Probably one of the worst this season. But they did a great job. I think Wallace did a great job on me. They're champions for a reason, so they showed that today. I think we need to be more ready. Obviously, it starts with me. I need to be way better than that.
Brew, what did you learn from last night's game?
Well, it's funny. Last year, both of us thought if the Lakers could get to OKC in the playoffs, that's a great matchup for the Lakers. Maybe it would have been last year, who knows, but it's not now. It's not. I think OKC has gained confidence, swagger, their depth is ridiculous because they won that championship. And they are just like the Lakers, and they blew out the Warriors too. I think those two teams, the Lakers and Warriors, they're too old to, when you have a young, uber athletic team that is smart, which OKC is, and plays smart basketball, they're physical as well. That's just too much, I think, for the Lakers. Even when LeBron gets back, I just think they won't be a good matchup. The Thunder did not have Jalen Williams, their second best player, or Lou Dort. And they still had about 6 wonderful defenders out there. They are too aggressive and strong, physical, quick, and athletic for a team because the Lakers aren't an athletic team, particularly without LeBron. But that's just not a good matchup for them. So I just don't. I think the Lakers will be they are a good team. They will be a good team. They're going to be a fairly high playoff seed in the West. But they can't match up with the Thunder. And the Thunder, Nick, they are they are running through the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's averaging 32 points. He's not even playing a lot in the fourth quarter.
No.
A lot of these games, he's sitting out almost the whole fourth quarter. So and we said the depth, it's just incredible what they're doing.
And confession, I didn't expect the Lakers to win. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of glad they got blown out because maybe we can put at least a little bit of rest to what Wilds was flirting with, and other people. You were flirting with it.
Flirting with
and
that?
other people were outright not just sliding a drink across the bar, but writing their room number on a napkin and asking the bartender hand it to them. The take of, maybe the Lakers might just be better off without LeBron. They're rolling so well. I had to argue with Colin about it. I argued you off of it mid-segment. yes,
I didn't even say
it. But you were flirting with it. And so, obviously, just like as good as the Thunder are, they'll be better when they add their second-best player coming off an All-NBA season. The Lakers, when they add their second-best player coming off an All-NBA season, will also be better. I have two major takeaways. One is for the West. Everyone's just got to fight for the 2 and the 3 seed. And then hope, you hope that the long last season plus another multiple rounds of playoffs catches up to OKC.
But they're so
But
deep.
I
know. They're so deep.
Too.
They're
And
so
they're not
young.
playing
They're
a lot
so
of
deep.
minutes.
I know. But I don't want to say
I
it's
know what you mean.
over.
Yeah.
But it's just, and so you just want to play them as late as possible. So I just think there's a huge difference. It actually puts a bigger importance on the regular season in the West this year for contenders than usual. Like, the difference between being the 3 seed and the 4 seed is massive to me because you avoid OKC longer. That's the first thing. Second thing is this. OKC right now on our friends DraftKings are 18-1. 18-1 to break the Warriors' wins record. And they're plus 350 to win 70. I think there's a decent value on both of them.
Wow.
And their projected win total right now, even money either side, is 65.5. I'll go ahead and go with the over on that. Because the thing is, even if they have the number 1 seed clinched and they are resting guys because they're so deep, they can win games without their best players. They're really good. They're really,
amazing.
really good.
8th defending champ to start 12-1 or 13-0. 3 of the previous 7 repeated.
Oh, well, that's actually
that's not
optimistic for the league.
So 4 didn't.
Yeah.
Purdy, comeback next.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. If you're hearing me, I'm going to assume you're awake. And if you aren't, because while you're snoozing, someone else might be finding your dream home. That's where Realtor.com comes in. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, that's a lot of chances to find the place you've been dreaming of. Whether you're searching for a 2-story mid-century with a pool or a little extra space with a spa-inspired bathroom, Realtor.com can help you find it today. So quit hitting that snooze button. Realtor.com isn't sleeping on finding your dream home, and neither should you. Download the Realtor.com app today, 'cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Podcast number 3 in the world.
Wow.
And our YouTube channel is still streaming. 70% of the people totally lost in the chat. It's not actually live. It certainly looks like it. But we will be streaming, and I will be in the chat someday. Someday. Chat gets a little rough waters. Play the Fox Super 6 NFL Challenge. Download the app. You get a free shot to win your share of $10,000 in cash prizes. Welcome back to First Things First. Coach Mangini is here. Brock Purdy, looking good. You know, he got hurt week 1 with that toe. He missed 2 games. Then he didn't quite look like himself in a loss to the Jags. Hasn't been on the field as a backup yet, which I found interesting. But he's ramping up in practices that Shanahan said were aggressive practices. Not just your run-of-the-mill practice. This was an aggressive practice. What's the difference? No one knows. Brew, is it a good idea to start Purdy against Arizona?
I'm not afraid to admit that I'm scared.
What a day.
Not because of Purdy, Mac, or even you guys. Because of Wild's response to this. This let me know, God forbid I have a week off, I'm sick, whatever. 5 days, 5 shows I missed. That's the equivalent of what Mac Jones doing essentially.
Well,
I don't know if that's true.
not 5
Vinny
days.
Good,
Okay, I'm off
shows.
2 weeks.
Okay.
And a Vinny Goodwill or somebody
wow. Shout out
comes in
Vinny.
and fills in for me, coach, and he does a solid job. This guy will want me out. I mean, hey, do we need Brew? Vinny was fine.
Not fine. If he's out here, if Vinny comes
fine.
in and has the second most passing yards in the league, I think you're like, wow.
Passing yards, come on. We know that's not the measure of
Passing yards isn't anybody's
Well, let me
quarterback.
show you. First of all, I'll say how fine he's been. Can we stop acting like the Mac Jones has the 49ers playing like world beaters, Coach? They've lost 3 of their last 5 games, Mr. QB wins.
He's 5-3.
They just got blown out.
With
Their
nobody.
last game on the field, they got Christian McCaffrey, I think, is somebody.
And who else?
George Kittle, I think, is somebody.
Yeah, he just showed
All
back
right?
up.
And look at these stats. These are Mac Jones's stats, a small sample size. Compared to Brock Purdy's career stats, a large sample size.
Hold it.
Purdy's much better passer rating. Okay, you got him by a little in completion percentage. Nick and I know that's irrelevant. Yards per pass, which is Nick knows is a huge stat. Purdy is one of the best we've seen in that, and TD percentage. So what are we doing? What are we doing?
Can I put up my
Now,
Mac?
Mac has been good. Mac has been good. I don't want to act like he hadn't been good.
No, he's been
but he
Vinny
hasn't
Goodwill.
been phenomenal. His last 5 games, he's had 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You're
He
raving
had a
over
game
them.
where it was just him and Kendrick Bourne. He's like, there's no one on the team, Mac Jones. We're going to go get your old Patriots buddy. And he
Okay.
lit it up and won the game.
Brock Purdy last year, in his last healthy game, no Christian McCaffrey. I don't think Kittle was there, any of those guys. No Ayuk, obviously, against Detroit, okay, who was great last year.
No, at the end of the year.
No,
Their
Detroit in the regular
defense
season.
was all
At the
hurt.
end of the year.
No, but they
Everybody was
still went 15-2.
Yeah,
Go
Go ahead.
370,
You know this is
377
dirty pool.
passing yards.
They didn't have
3
anyone. They
touchdowns.
take out the practice squad.
160. Okay, 4 of his last 7 starts last year. 300 plus
Drew,
yards in
let
4
Wilds
games.
Can I show you my Mac Jones stat?
Yeah, sure.
Here's how Mac Jones is doing. Let's just look at them.
Just toss over.
7th best completion percentage, 2nd in yards, only behind everybody's All-American, which he outdueled. Yards per pass, and this is solid. This is not his team. He's the backup, and he's 5-3. This is the only thing I ask. Have a practice, coach. Have an aggressive practice, and put the better quarterback on the field. Let's not talk about contracts. Let's not talk about ego. Let's not talk about vibes. Let's not talk about anything else. What's a nice story? Oh, you're the last pick. Oh, you're the mighty national champion from Alabama. Just put the best quarterback out there and let the chips fall where they may.
So if you got to say, who did you say might come in and replace you?
Vinny
Goodwill.
Who does
Vinny,
a great
shout
job.
out to
Yeah.
Vinny.
So shout out to Vinny.
He's hosted the show before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In some ways, you replaced him, so that was kind of mean.
Now that could be problematic unless your contract gave you $265 million.
Well,
So if you're being paid $265 million, it didn't matter. It won't matter who they brought in, bro. You're still going to be in that seat. Aggressive practice, not aggressive practice. At the end of the day, they need Mac Jones to play, and if he goes out in practice,
They need Brock Purdy to play.
I mean, I'm Brock
Hello,
Purdy to play. Whoa,
we're there.
Freudian slip. So, but if he goes out and practices and Brock looks good at practice and they don't play him, it's not only it's a quiet benching, but it's not quiet in that locker room. All those guys are at practice. All those guys are at meetings. All those guys know what his contract is. Everybody sees it. So they may be able to sort of push it out publicly or keep it quiet publicly, but you can't keep it quiet in the locker room. And now you're saying this guy who we've invested so much in, who we've decided is our franchise quarterback, isn't good enough. That's pretty damning at this point in time and this point in his contract. They can't do it.
Here's what I think. I think that had they not paid Purdy, this would be a real question mark for right now and for the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
I truly believe that if they had done what I recommended and you didn't disagree with, you know what I mean?
I'm
right.
usually like,
You're conservative on contracts, even guys you like. If Purdy were a pending free agent this coming off season because they hadn't given him the deal. And it's like, oh, well, we can sign him to an extension or franchise tag him. And by the way, we have Mac Jones next year for $4 million. Not only would it be a real conversation, I think it would tilt massively heavily towards Mac because what is being shown, I believe, and I'd rather you two argue than me. My watch has ended on this topic for over 5 years, it would appear, in that you drop anyone with a pulse into this offense, they're going to look some level of good.
Okay.
But I'm not with a pulse. I said, but that's stop it. But that's again, guys who had been starters elsewhere. Guys who had been starters elsewhere, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that right now. But here is the other thing that I didn't realize. It's not just the money with Brock. Did you know?
No trade?
He has a no trade clause. Yeah. So they have, so my real answer on good idea to start Purdy, my answer is this week, no. If this is the first week he's fully healthy, I'd give him one extra week and be like, you start at home against Carolina next week. Because if he's bad, they are putting themselves in a position where they might be like, oh, man, we are trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
The better option, if he's bad against a frisky defense, is Mac Jones. And then it would be more than a soft benching for a guy you are totally tied to for the next 2 years, which is devastating. And so I think it is risky to start him this week.
But if
I would
he's
wait
totally healthy and everybody knows he's totally healthy in that building and they still don't play him, that's problematic too.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to sell it to the rest of the locker room that you're not playing him because of health reasons. Right. But if Brock's saying, yeah, I'm good to go, and they're saying, no, we're going to go with Mac Jones.
He better play well.
But I think
he better play well.
I think what's interesting too.
Doesn't matter how he plays.
Nick, is you brought it up yesterday. I mean, we disagreed over this last year, his injury history. Yep. But now he has been injured several times.
Because there were two injuries in week one. It was his shoulder and his toe.
Yeah, like do you keep Mac Jones for a backup?
That's the thing.
Because if Purdy gets hurt.
Yeah. And I wonder what I can't believe we're having this conversation, but I wonder what Mac Jones' trade value is over the summer. Mac Jones on a contract that pays him $3 million next year. Would someone give the Niners a second-round pick for him?
Second-round pick?
Well, look, he was in Jacksonville. He wasn't good. He was okay.
Yeah,
there.
no, I mean, again.
I think people also got to wonder if he's not in this system.
Not everybody,
but like now, Darnold obviously it worked out for him, but it's interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder what his value is because I was thinking the same thing. Could you trade Purdy? Which is when I guess you knew I had forgotten. That he got a no-trade clause. What were the Niners doing?
Well, we're still a little early on Mac Jones. Like there's a little body of work here. I think Brock Purdy has a more significant body of work.
But if you show, but hold on, but show the last 2 year stats because again, the Mac Jones numbers are small. You put Purdy's whole career. Purdy post Super Bowl has been solid. He hasn't been great. And there can be a bunch of reasons for it.
There's so many I know you like to make it like a science experiment. There's so many variables in their 49ers health. It's very hard to. What makes it a fun conversation?
No, I totally agree. And again, the Mac number is not. It's a smaller sample, but it is interesting that over the last 2 years, Purdy only has 9, like Mac has 9 starts, Purdy has 17, or Purdy has 8 starts, pardon me. I said that wrong. Mac has 8 starts, Purdy has 17. Mm-hmm. So it's almost half. Like, I don't know if Purdy were tradable on that. Let's say he waived his no trade. He's like, I don't want to be here. You guys are mean to me, and my cowboy boots aren't selling. I wonder who has right now more trade value, given their contracts.
Oh.
Purdy at $50 million but locked up, or Mac at $4 million on an expiring deal. I think it's.
I wouldn't think teams. Mac Jones' contract obviously is very favorable, But I'm sure there are a lot of teams that aren't sold on him.
Right. That's what. Correct. I agree. Which is why. But also. Teams might be like, we are sold on, we know exactly who Purdy is, and we think $50 million for a guy with his injury history who's coming off what is right now 2 down years.
Well, wouldn't you be suspicious about trading with a team that's going to get rid of the guy with a $50 million contract that they thought was their franchise quarterback?
I agree.
If they feel like he can't do it, you're like, oh, well, we can.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, coming up next, we got to talk about my Patriots. Josh Allen going to do great against the Bucs in Bake Show. They're having an interesting war of the words.
Yeah. There's a lot of Patriots coming up in hour 2.
Thank goodness.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pain. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Both teams are 6-3. Both teams coming off a loss. Josh Allen focused on taking care of the ball. Take a listen.
It sucks losing, but knowing in the losses this year that we've turned the ball over, and that's pointing the thumb directly at myself, and knowing that if we take care of the football and take care of what we're supposed to, we're a dang good football team.
Will be tricky against the Bucs, who had the second most takeaways since the start of October. Is anyone guaranteeing a bounce-back game for the Bills? I switched it.
Wait, that's not the question.
I switched it.
Guaranteed.
No.
No, I'm not. I might go the other way on turnovers.
What?
And here's what I mean.
Pro turnovers.
I'm not pro turnovers, but I do think. So there's an interesting Bills stat right now that I just read, because I follow a bunch of Bills accounts on Twitter, or the algorithm sends them to me because they talk so mean to me, so they think I want to see it. The Bills have the 3rd best in the league distance to go on 3rd down. Third, you know what I mean? So the 3rd and shortest, if you will. And I actually don't know if that's something you want to be that high in the league in, if that's your quarterback. Because to me, that says it's a lot of let's set up 3rd and manageable, as opposed to the thing Peyton Manning loves talking about, which is 1st down, 2nd down, 1st down. You know what I mean? Like, let's move the ball down the field, hit explosives. So he's like, forget 3rd and short. Let's stay out of 3rd down. I think 3rd and manageable is super important if you have a young quarterback, if you have a limited quarterback. Obviously, it's helpful no matter who your quarterback is. But I think the Bills have overcorrected to the total lack of explosiveness in their offense, which they don't have a single player on their team that has 500 yards receiving. So the other teams on that list are teams that have either quarterback problems or injuries to their top wide receivers. Or injuries to that's
what Kincaid got. Well, he missed some games, right?
Kincaid shy of it. But he has the most, by the way. Brian Thomas Jr. got hurt. Debo and McLaurin's dealt with injuries. The Packers, Tucker Kraft got hurt.
Yep.
And the other teams are just... The Bills, even if they don't have a ton, like a super explosive number 1 receiver, they should have a more explosive offense.
That should have been Keon.
Well, yeah, it was supposed to be. But he hasn't developed into that. Yeah. But I just, Coach, feel like they have the handcuffs a little too tight on, in my opinion, the 2nd best, in everyone's opinion, a top 3 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody argue against being really good at 3rd and manageable.
Well,
that's a first for me. But I understand what you're saying. And for the Bills, I don't know if this is a bounce-back game because I don't know how really good they are. And I get that they beat the 5-4 Kansas City Chiefs, which is the ultimate accomplishment
it's their
that
Super
you can have. It is in mid-season, but they really haven't beaten anybody else of note. They don't have kind of that other signature win, and then you follow that up with the huge letdown in Miami. So there's still a question of how good are they, and the injury situation is problematic. And I do agree with you, Nick. I think this is going to go the other way. I imagine that he's going to turn more into the Superman that we've seen in the past, and that's going to come with bigger plays, but it's going to come with more turnovers.
Yeah.
And last year, that formula worked really well for him. It's not working well for him now, and the only guy that has a chance to save the day is him. And that's unfortunately going to come with some higher risk and some more turnovers.
guarantee, expect a bounce back. It better be a bounce back. It better be a bounce back.
Because?
Or I think you're right. Like, if they don't bounce back and beat Tampa Bay, it really is in the question of how good is this team? Like, now, again, if you take out away the Chiefs, who we're just going on their history, I mean, you still can argue the Bills are as good as anybody else in the AFC, and maybe even the Chiefs since they beat them. But, I mean, they've lost, 3 of their last 5. They just had their worst game of the season. Josh didn't have, he hasn't been spectacular this year. All of these factors.
They have more double-digit losses in the last month than they had in the previous 4 years.
Yeah, so all of these factors, and you don't come out and play. Like, you're playing a good team, too, so you're not taking them lightly. Well, they're good.
You haven't said the word yet. Finally. The whole time I was waiting for that cuz there.
You can't beat up on this cute little team in Tampa Bay. No, but, like, if they don't play well, then it's like, is that game in them? Because, again, I mean, they beat Baltimore, and that's fair, but Baltimore was outplaying them. It took a historic meltdown by them to get them that win. So I think the Bills better play well. And it might not be pretty, but they need to win. If they don't win, it's fair to be like, how good is this team? Because they got the division on the line.
If they lose this game, the division's done.
Well, if they lose this.
It's not gone yet, but it's on life support.
Yeah.
But if they lose, it's gone.
If you're the Bills, you're thinking we still got a shot. But if you lose this, then it's.
Every successful business evolves. And to keep up, you need a bank relationship that evolves too. When you collaborate with KeyBank, you don't get one-size-fits-all solutions. Our expansive team of experts across industry verticals wouldn't be here if you did. Always ready with bespoke solutions for your biggest challenges and opportunities. We know all businesses are different, and that's why we approach business differently. Reimagine business as usual. KeyBank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.
Live from New York. It's a show that settled our difference between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones in the break.
How?
We just had a chat. It's just like we were talking about A.J. Brown and James.
Mac will stay there next year as the backup.
Yeah, it's okay with it. Come in a few games, and he admitted that Brock probably won't play flawlessly. Maybe Mac will pop in.
I don't remember all that.
Well,
what we all can
he might
agree
get
on
hurt.
is when it comes to the Niners quarterback debate of the last 7 years, only one guy's been right.
There's so many names I can throw you away, including one of your favorites in Trey Lance.
I never loved Trey Lance.
You picked him to get to the Super Bowl.
Right,
Trey
with
Lance.
the argument being anyone could take him, and then Brock
Except
Purdy
Trey.
took him. Exactly.
Second hour, first things first. Today, A.J. Brown responds to his own comments. Jalen Hurts ready to move on. Will this actually hurt the Eagles? Meanwhile, am I willing to guarantee a Patriots victory? Yes. But there is one problematic stat that you need to see, and Mike Vrabel needs to fix. It's very strange. Very strange. But right now, of course, it's time for the most motivational segment on sports. Also time where we read some viewer mail. And I was in the chat yesterday, and chat was like, hey, Wilds, I said, yeah, chat? Are you still going to do the letters now that you're digital? I said, yeah, chat. Still doing the real letters. Christina went to the...
When you say you were in the chat, what do you mean?
I don't know.
And who's talking to you?
The chat.
But who is the chat?
My friends.
Or is it like the comment section?
Gianna, what do I mean
Is
exactly?
it the Reddit group that you... Bro, did you know he goes to the
Reddit?
First Things First
I
Reddit?
have gone on the First Things First Reddit.
Really?
Wow.
And left comments?
No, I'm not even
No,
commenting.
but
You
On his
have
bur-
under
only
your
on his
burner.
burner
So
account.
I don't want to interrupt the letter. Just real
Letter.
quick. Wilds brings up the First Things First Reddit to me today. And he's like, do you go on there? And I'm like, I've never been.
I didn't
And then
even
he
know he-
stops and he's like, you probably shouldn't. I'm like, whoa.
It's a little rough.
That makes it curious. Now he's curious.
It's a little rough in there.
I would say don't go on
But
it.
they love the show. That's the problem. I was telling Nick, they love the show.
If they love it, then it would seem to be.
No,
So
it's
again,
like a
bro-
stranger making fun of you and like a family member making fun of you. Like, dang, that one hurt. Time for the letter. Dear Wilds, love the show and I love gaming. Oh, the kids love gaming nowadays. Their controllers.
A.J. Brown.
Is Must Win 25, the video game version of Must Win, available on all platforms?
Look.
I talked to Dusty. Dusty said, Oh, thanks, Ryan and Brian. Dusty said right now it's a PS5 exclusive because it's too powerful to run on a Switch.
Yeah.
But we do have another game coming out, the Bud List video game, and Dusty's developing this.
Oh, really?
You have 6 different characters that you can choose from.
Wow.
What is the
Why
middle
would
one?
you choose for the one in the hospital, Brett? That's
Different
Bruto.
adventure.
That's
I
one
want
of his
the middle
favorites.
one. He
Bruto,
looks
we
tough.
need to bring Bruto back, Coach.
Yeah.
They all wanted to get rid of Bruto.
I like Bruto.
I like MVP, bro. It's all different adventures you
That's
could
nice. What's that they say, the Bruniverse? Bruniverse?
I don't know, chat. What do they call it?
I want to pre-order that.
It's the Bruno.
Oh, the Bruce CU.
Yeah.
It's a Marvel.
The Bruce. Go ahead.
Well,
Bruce.
speaking of the Bruniverse, one of the main characters is at number 3. Brock Purdy.
Wow.
All right, Brock. To hear some tell it,
What?
you got your backup, Mac Jones, has the Niners atop Knicks tiers, when in actuality, they've lost 3 of their last 5 games. Okay. To hear some tell it, your backup is in the MVP conversation.
No one's saying that.
When in actuality,
No one is.
7 touchdowns, 5 picks his last 5 games. I know. They're just coming at you. They are going for your throat, but you can't let it get to you. If you play this week, you're in your home state, Arizona. You gotta know Mac Jones has been good, and I think you guys are probably friendly, and it's good. He's done what a backup should. Keep the team afloat.
That's right.
But he ain't you. You are Brock Purdy. Look at this graphic. You have the most 2 touchdown, 115 or more passer ratings in the first 3 seasons of your career in history. More than the great Patrick Mahomes. I know Mahomes didn't play his first year, but you only started 5 games your rookie year. All right, so it's not that much of a difference.
No.
Russell Wilson also in there, maybe, I don't know, close to a Hall of Famer at least at one point. And so you got to remember who you are. You are Brock Purdy. You are the franchise record holder in passing yards for a single season, in passer rating for a single season, and in the stat that Nick Wright thinks is the most important for quarterbacks, yards per attempt for a single season.
Told you that.
So go out there in Arizona, like I said, your home state, walk out there with some swagger and get it done and let everybody know Mac was great. I'm glad for him, but this is my team. Brock, I believe in you. All right, at number 2, another guy, J-Lo.
Oh.
Jordan Love. J-Lo, the critics are out, and their knives are sharpened. They are coming for you. They are saying you are the reason that the Packers will not get to the Super Bowl. You are the weak link, and I don't think you're the weak link, but right now they have some good points. Last 2 weeks, no touchdown passes, 1 interception. That's only 1, but still no touchdown passes. You've been beaten 3 times by teams that did not score 17 points. That just can't happen. So you have to get out here against the Giants. You got the right opponent to go out there and cook, get your confidence back, and get this team, which has Super Bowl potential, rolling again. Jordan, I believe in you. J-Lo. In fact, J-Lo, I've said sometimes you're J-No. This week, you got to go from J-Lo to J-Oh. Oh my! To J-Oh my! At number 1!
What we do?
At number 1.
That worked somehow.
Let me find number 1. Bo Nix.
Oh, boy.
Nick, I hate to do this because you know the Bud List is 9-0, Coach, over the last 3
Pretty
weeks.
good.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, it really is pretty impressive. So we'll see what happens with Bo Nix. But Bo, you're getting booed at home. I know that is not a good feeling. But what you have to recognize is, look, this week, people look at your numbers They see you, I think 27th in passer rating, something like that. You're really low in a lot of the numbers. So maybe the booing's fair. You've not put up a lot of points in many games this season, but you have to recognize this week is good for you because nobody cares about the numbers individually. Nobody cares about style points. Nobody cares about how many points you guys put up. Just win, baby. If you win 10-7, you win 7-3, whatever you win 15-14, you will go from being booed to being praised because the Broncos are 1-13 against the mighty Patrick Mahomes. So if you go out there and get a win, you will put all of that behind you to rest. People will be talking about you guys as Super Bowl contenders, and they'll get off of your back. All right, so you go out there, play a strong game. It'll be tough, no doubt. But your defense has your back, so you got to give them some support and play like you did last year, which was pretty good, especially at the end of the season. So, Bo Nix, good luck.
That is a great Bud list.
Great.
Look, love the segment. Love the way you workshop stuff. Every week it's more incredible than the last. I'm going to put someone on the Bud list that may surprise you, Sam Darnold. Oh. And I know what you're thinking. He's been playing great. He has been playing great. And he's been playing great in one particular area, and that's passes over 10 yards. Take a look at these numbers. Really incredible all season. So completion percentage, pass yards, pass TDs, passer rating, all really good. And I want to show you a play against the Cardinals that really that reinforces this even more and shows you the type of year that he's been having up to this point. So let's go ahead and show this. This is the first drive against the Cardinals. And what they're going to do is they're going to run hard sell play action with max protection. Okay, so the back's going to start working to the right, and then Sam Darnold's going to come out, he's going to fake it, and he's going to roll to his left. And he does now with the max protection, it's the 5 offensive linemen, the 2 tight ends, and the back. So it's going to end up only being a 2-man route. And you're going to see when Sam comes out here, he does a really good job of extending his hand out and getting these guys to come up the field. You got a 2-man route, so Shaheed, he's going to run an over, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba, these are off corners, so he's going to push vertically up the field, then he's going to go out to get the corner to squat down, and then he's going to push back up the field. Now what the Cardinals are going to do is they're bringing some pressure. The fake is so good by Darnold, they actually bring more guys than they wanted to, and they're in a 3-deep zone, which should be really good against a deep ball. And the Cardinals are one of the better teams against the deep ball in the league. What's really interesting with Seattle is they're rolling him to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback. You don't usually roll guys to the left on these type of routes unless they're really strong. In Jigma, you can see him push up when he breaks out. Now he's even with the corner. Darnold's getting ready to throw, even though he's not on top of the corner yet, but he's got faith that he's going to get on top of the corner. So he frees the corner. Watch this throw. Now here's the important part. He's outside the numbers, and Jigba's outside the numbers. So the free safety, he's the only guy that can really come make this play once he gets on top of the corners. Watch the way that Sam Darnold leads him away from the free safety. Free safety on a good break can get to the bottom of the numbers, maybe a little bit wider. Watch the way he leads him away on top of the corner and drops it in the bucket. And there's been a bunch of throws like this all season. So you're saying, well, why is he on the Bud list? He's done a great job for Seattle. He's done a great job last season. But what's the issue? It's big moments. He had the big moment at the end of the season to win the division. He couldn't do it. He had the big moment in the playoff. He couldn't do it. And right now, this is a big moment. And the question is, can he be the quarterback that the projection or the trajectory is pushing forward? Or are we going to come back at the end of the week or end of the weekend and say, okay, he's that same old Sam Darnold?
Excellent, Coach. I mean, that's why he was on the almost on the Bud list. He was in strong consideration because I agree. This is last year, end of the year, the big games. He went back to kind of the old.
And yesterday, you showed me a very similar film breakdown that you had done when you were considering him for the Bud list. Like not as many bells as whistles, but the same type of thing.
Can I ask, before we get to one of the hottest segments in all of sports, the Sports Media Buzz, can I ask Coach a quick question? Knowing that play looked very nuanced and detail-oriented, not a lot of margin for error.
Mm-hmm.
Once the pressure ratchets up, should the play calling maybe get a little bit easier for Sam Darnold? So we know that he can get a little bit nervous, let's say, and like, oh, now you have to make this perfect pass 50 yards down the field.
That play, they give him 8 backs protection. They give him play action, so it sucks the linebackers up. It really, and then you've got your best receiver, who's one of the best receivers in the league, isolated on a cornerback. It shouldn't be that complicated a play for him. I think it's all the other aspects of the game that suddenly, when the pressure's on, guys sometimes just get so tense that their focus goes from way out here, which is where he is now, to this narrow focus, and everything becomes critical.
And that playoff game you're talking about where he didn't play well was against the Rams. I know he's on a different team, but it's against
Haley Joel Osment mode.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he does.
It's time now. You're in for a real treat. It is time now for a segment unlike anything else on sports TV, really in sports media in general, surveying all of media, going through it all, and serving it up to you. It's another edition of the Sports Media Ombudsman with Nick Wright.
So that's the greatest trade I ever made in my life. I don't know, Coach, I don't know if you're aware, but I traded him the Royal Trumpeteers, and one of the things I got in return was him really putting his all into the intro
held up your end
of the Sports Media Ombudsman.
Great job.
All right, before I reveal who's on this week's Sports Media Ombudsman, I want to talk about Brew and myself just for a moment, because we have everybody has outside interests, right? And they sometimes pop up on the show, but we have other outlets for them. So Brew, if people don't know, intense man of faith, as I always get it wrong, the King Conference? The King Movement, and you do a lot of public speaking. And about a couple times a month, I get a DM'd Instagram video from my wife of Brew giving some speech like, you need to watch this. I'm like, calm down. But, however...
Just 3 in the morning in a poker room. What is this about vices?
And so while Brew will occasionally reference the good book on the show, it's mostly there. As Wild's referenced, I fancy myself a bit of an amateur professional poker player, and while I will occasionally try to make a poker analogy on the show, it doesn't go all that well, and I try to keep it separate. So that brings us to Kevin Wildes, who doesn't really have a bunch of hobbies.
What are you talking about?
You're
all sorts of stuff.
You ride your bike in your unitard, but aside from that, you don't have a bunch of hobbies. And so you've really thrown yourself into your Patriots, which I understand you feel is germane to the show. But the Eagles are germane to the show, yet our producer Dusty, when he started really trying to force feed us Brandon Graham news last year, we had to tell him pump the brakes.
Still do. It pops up in the rundown.
And so I fear, so I said I have to put Kevin Wildes on the bud list because I fear we are reaching a tipping point with KW and some of the Patriots stuff. So here's the deal, Brew. You don't follow KW on social media, but if you did, you would see like today on his Instagram. It's just Mike Vrabel talking to his players.
That's
and
my
he
personal
writes,
Instagram.
This team is special, and the rest of the
Coach,
NFL is slowly realizing.
Coach,
hold on.
After the game,
he's
giving
talking to his players.
He's saying, "I love you," and they're like, "I love you too."
Yeah, okay.
It's amazing stuff happening.
So there's
in the
that.
locker room.
And then he tweeted this 2 days ago.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is true. It's a good story.
It's like Drake May is an algorithm that knows exactly what Patriots fans love to hear. And this was about Drake May wanting to practice outside. And then, and Brew can attest to this, he then, during our morning meeting, was like, guys, we have to do the Patriots practicing outside story. And I quote, everyone's going crazy about it.
That's true.
So I was so happy, Brew, when I saw Wildes has a few new followers on Twitter as of yesterday.
That's because
WEEI and the program director at WEEI, Ken Laird, started following Wildes. Now I know you historically, you're a Felger guy. He's on the Sports Hub.
I met Felger and I like
Yes. So whether it's Felger and Maz at the Sports Hub or Greg Hill on WEEI, I beg of you, somebody offer Wildes a 10-minute weekly spot to talk about these Patriot things that don't quite make the show.
Well, I appreciate you reaching your tentacles out to local radio like you normally do. I don't think I'd be good at radio.
Well,
more of like, the reason I was going to do the outdoor story because, like, hey, should we practice indoors or outdoors? My whole thing is we got a door on the set. I was going to bust through the door. Everyone was going to have a blast. We ended up talking about, can Josh Allen do it? It was nothing.
Kevin nailed the doorstep to destiny.
He absolutely did.
Before anything
nailed that.
He nailed it.
It was literally a story about going indoors or outdoors. And he bumped it from the show. He told me to do it on radio. So I'm going to go on radio, and I'm like, I'm here. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm behind a door that we bought. I'm putting Matthew Stafford.
Really?
Yeah, on the Bud list.
Everybody's All-American?
So here's the thing, and I don't know if I'm going to put anybody on the spot. Does anybody have like little carve-outs? Carve-outs in their personal life? Like you're like, you know what? I don't like seafood, but I love oysters or something. You know what I mean? I always think that's interesting. Yeah. But I was sitting here trying to go through it, and I couldn't come up with one. Do you have one?
You're kind of putting me on the spot.
I don't know. Anyways, think about it for the rest of the segment. Everybody, think about it if you have an interesting carve-out. I don't like horror movies, but I loved
The Exorcist. Something like
you love The Exorcist.
No, I'm
what
just.
The heck, Bruce, right here? My goodness, I'm sorry, bro. I love The Exorcist. My
Jesus,
God.
man.
All right. I'm a quarterback wins guy. All right. Poor Matthew Stafford, 115 and 115 and 1 going into the Seahawks game. This is a huge game for him. Oh. If he loses this game, through 132 games, the guy is below 500, which just seems nuts. At the same time, my carve-out is I do think he's an excellent quarterback. But he needs to win this game because I would like to not have that carve-out, just like all excellent quarterbacks are above 500 in the career. You also talked about him getting a chance if he wins this game. Maybe he wins the MVP.
And then he's in the Hall of Fame.
If he wins the MVP, he's in the Hall of Fame. Now, this is a very important game. So is it MVP's on the line, Hall of Fame is on the line, my quarterback wins, theory on the line. If he loses this game, he's out of the Hall of Fame, he doesn't win the MVP, and he's not even a winning quarterback. It's a monster game for Matthew Stafford, and I have one more stat to add a little bit of statistical oomph to the segment as you guys think of your own personal carve-outs. First in passing yards, first in 20-yard completions, first in touchdowns, fourth in pass rating. We know that Drake May is going to light up the Jets tonight. So if he loses MVP, Drake May is going to snatch it. So it's a big game. That's why Matthew Stafford's on the Bud list.
Good stuff. Good.
Well, I don't know if that was good or not.
That was good.
Really good.
Yeah, I can't tell.
He does have a lot on him.
I'm thinking about my carve-out.
What's your carve-out?
I don't know.
I stopped listening too. I was trying to think of the same thing.
No one's got a carve-out?
I don't know if you described it that well.
I thought it was good.
Kind of like
Dusty,
one,
we
you
gotta
don't like
bring
the
back
group, but you
Bruce
like one part.
Stop fighting it.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana.
Fox College Football Friday, under the lights in prime time. Dante Moore, he looks amazing.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm a Ducks guy now, bro.
Yeah.
Minnesota at Oregon. We need a statement win here. That's 9 p.m. Friday on Fox. Welcome back to the show. Coach Mangini is still here. A.J. Brown met with reporters and talked about his critiques of the team's offense that he aired out on a Madden stream. Take a listen.
If we're really focusing on winning and doing our job, like, we can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over the defense doing their job and getting us out of trouble. Like, at what point are we going to pick up our slack as an offense that we're so great, And that's what I'm getting at. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stat. No, it's been week after week sometimes. We're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over that and you expect to win late in the year. You think you're going to go to it at the end of the year. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And last year, what it was, Thank you for the ring, but it's a new season.
Okay, Coach, what is the larger issue? AJ talking about the offense or the offense itself?
Yeah, it's AJ talking about the offense. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It happened last year. It happened last year. It's not going to happen. It's happening this year. They're winning this year, so it is happening. You know what else is happening is you're just finding different ways to complain. So you complained earlier, so it started, I forget what the first article was, but then he moved from that one. Now we're at Twitch. I don't know if he's going to Blue Sky next. Like, I don't know what media outlet is left that he can complain about his production. Oh, he did the Athletic article. And it's not about the stats unless it's about the stats. Because he's not talking about fixing the running game. I didn't hear him say the running game was broken, and that hasn't been very effective. So is it really about the offense?
Wild statement.
Well, I'm just saying. If
that's a great point.
If you're trying to make it about the offense, the running game hasn't been anywhere near as effective as it used to be, and that I think that's still part.
But that would have been worse if he would have been like, man, our running game sucks.
But it does go along with his
he's trying to say it's not about me. It's we've got to fix these problems if we're going to make a deep run into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. And that would have a lot more merit if he was looking at it holistically, which he's not. And then if you look at Jalen Hurts' numbers, because I thought, okay, maybe Jalen's playing a lot differently than he played last year. But he's better in every category in 2025 than he was in 2024. So that's been consistent. The running game hasn't been as good as it was. But the reoccurring issue and the reoccurring problem that comes up is him. And him talking about it. And it's not going to go. It's just going to keep getting worse.
So here's my question: Can both be totally true? A.J. Brown is going about this the wrong way. A.J. Brown is, it's a headache. Nick Sirianni got sick of it yesterday and was like, I'm about done answering questions about this, guys. Jalen is running out of home goods quotes to give on this topic, and they're 7-2 in the defending champs. That can all be true. What's also true is the most expensive offense in the history of pro football that is, for all intents and purposes, fully healthy, leading the league in 3-and-outs, which we can show you they do alongside offenses with either no quarterback or young quarterbacks, and being 4th in the league in drives that end in a punt, again, alongside teams, all of which have super young quarterbacks, is inexplicable. And then when you say, well, what could the reason be for it? Well, we have an all-pro receiver who's not in the top 40 of anything. That those three graphics themselves are a problem, Coach, and it makes you concerned.
Totally fair, but what about the running game?
I agree.
So that's again where my issue is. He's not saying this because he really wants to get it fixed. He's saying this because he wants his part to be better.
No, look, I agree with Nick in that, the offense, and I think you're saying this too, Coach. There are problems with the offense. But I side with Coach in that I think AJ's comments are worse because the offense, I feel like, is fixable. I mean, 38 points against the Giants, 28 against the Vikings, 31 against the Buccaneers, 33 against the Rams. And then what they did last year, they've shown, and Jalen occasionally will go out and light a game up when people are doubting him. So the offense, I think, is fixable. What is not fixable is AJ's joy or whatever, making he's not going to be happy. Last year, when he first made those comments about the passing game, I think they were 11-2 because that was right before the Steelers game.
Yes.
They were 11-2. He's not happy. They win the Super Bowl. He tweets, I thought I'd feel more, joy, whatever, better about this. I want to cook individually and all that. Now they're 7-2. He's not happy. He had 2 touchdowns, 140 yards receiving in a win a few weeks ago. He tweets using me, but there's nothing they can do, including winning the Super Bowl, that's going to make him happy. And I don't even know. I mean, I guess if he got 10 catches for 150 yards one game, that would make him happy. But So I just think the offense is fixable. AJ's comments and mentality are not.
Okay. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Last week, the Eagles played the team that proposed banning the tush push, the Packers. This week, they played the only team on their schedule who voted against the ban in the Lions. Dan Campbell, pro-push. Take a listen.
I'm a purist, man. You take something else out of the game, then we're taking the next thing out of the game. Then you're taking another thing out of the game. Then pretty soon we don't have pads anymore. And then pretty soon you're only playing 30 minutes. And then pretty soon it's, so that's why I don't want to take it out of the game. It's something, a team's got a niche. They found something, they're good at it, and it's for everybody else to stop.
Okay,
fine. Then just run it in a way that when we run a 3 tush push rip like we did, there's not an egregious officiating mistake on all 3. We just ran a highlight of this, that in real time, the first and the third, you saw a false start, and the second, Jalen fumbled, and they got away with it. So I guess the first, second, and fourth, there was a false. There's another one.
It looked like encroachment.
This was sure.
It was all
what's that look like? And the one from this past week, what's that look like? If we're going to go the slippery slope mission creep argument, fine. Then I will retreat my own I hate this stupid rugby play argument to who cares about it? Just make them run it legally. And the referees who are amazingly good at seeing false starts with every other play, the slightest flinch, the only people who ever see it are the ref and Chris Collinsworth. Collinsworth's right guard and the referee. And these, I think it's, my hypothesis is it's so egregious, the refs think the ball's been snapped. And they can't see that the ball hasn't been snapped because everyone's so tightly compacted. Yeah. As opposed to a other false start where everyone's, stone not moving, and then one guy does that.
That's a good
point. So I think at this point, Coach, people are more frustrated about the way it is officiated than the play itself.
Yeah, it's going to come to an end. And what was frustrating last game is the fact that Green Bay got dinged on the false start. That was tough to watch. And I think if you let one go, you should probably let the other go. I do agree that they have developed this niche and they should be rewarded for developing this. And there's been a lot of teams that have tried to copy it and have been unsuccessful at it. And there's been a lot of teams that have been able to stop it against, opponents who are doing it. So it's not an indefensible play. People have been able to defend it. And I do agree with you, Nick. If they're having this many penalties on it over and over again, they're going to have to ding them a few times to make them pay for doing it. So I'm fine with leaving the play in, and they do need to get better at officiating it. And I think it'll probably go away next year based off of how much angst this is causing people.
Yeah, look, I've been on the side of Dan Campbell for the most part. I agree. Stop it. Nobody can stop it. Other teams don't run it as well. So it's not just the play. It's the Eagles doing it. But it's become so egregious with the way they've officiated it. The first week it became an issue with the false starts. It was you couldn't see it in real time. But they're calling all these other teams for the same thing. And I don't even think those are as egregious as what the Eagles are doing. So I agree, Coach. I think it'll be gone after this season because of the way it is hard to officiate. And I think that'll be the reason they get rid of it. And I think good riddance because of that. If they were calling false starts on them, then I would be you can keep it in because it is a great play for the Eagles, but you have to run it legally.
Can I say one thing, and I mentioned it in the newsread, and we mentioned it when the vote first came out, that the Lions were the only team on the Eagles' schedule to say, you know what, keep it in. I thought this was a flashing green light on how deep the Lions' culture of toughness runs. And we talk all about, you need a culture setter for a franchise. Dan Campbell is so tough, they vote tough against the rules. We're tough. We keep it in. Yeah, they could have easily, every other team did it, and I actually have a hypothesis that once new teams are on the Eagles' schedule, your vote will switch. Like, actually, now I'm for it.
Yeah,
now that I'm not
I
on their
agree with
schedule.
you. I don't think anything about Dan Campbell's comments was theater. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly how he feels, and he's all for it. If you can do it, we're going to stop you, though.
That's right. We'll be playing with, sim.
It'll be flag football.
Wait, don't take shots at flag football.
I love flag football.
They say fortune favors the bold, meaning if you're bold, fortune awaits.
Yeah.
You could spend your time trying to get rich, or you could spend some of your time criticizing Bo Nix to his face. Because no one has ever done it, not even the bold. Take a listen.
For me, it's quite simple, really. I delete all my social media. I don't even have it. So unless somebody says it to my face, I don't really hear it. And nobody's ever bold enough to say it to your face.
Yeah.
Fact check. Not true. I think about 70,000 of your closest friends said it to your face the last time you played football. If you people don't remember Thursday night, here, courtesy of Fox NFL on Instagram, was a quick moment from last night of Broncos fans saying it to Bo Nix's face.
Crowd frustrated again. Pat Bryant, the intended receiver. It is the 5th 3-and-out for the Broncos.
Okay, so I don't. If Bo Nix is like, no one walks up to me on the street and is like, you suck, I agree with him. That likely doesn't happen. As far as him being alerted, not just by people behind the keyboard, but his home fans about how they feel about his play, I think they've been pretty vocal about it. And I think it's been fair. His numbers are what his numbers are. He right now is unequivocally the weak link on that team. And now, reasonable people can disagree about whether or not these are the struggles of a young quarterback who will get much better, or if he is a guy that was, is going to struggle like this moving forward. That's up for debate. What's not up for debate is, right now the biggest problem with Denver, despite their record, is their passing game. And we're not going to blame Sean Payton. He's at the helm of it. So, yeah, I think the criticism is fair.
He has had 4 games of sub 60% completion, which is not great, and the interceptions over the last 3 games haven't been very good. But he has done a good job of leading fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's been good when they've been behind. I do think there needs to be some grace for a second-year quarterback. Not everybody hits at the same time. And the way that this team is constructed and the defense that they had, they don't have to ask him to do that much. He's got to manage the game, and it's not always going to be pretty, but they are currently riding the longest winning streak in the league, tied with New England, and it's good enough for right now. It's not perfect, but I would imagine, with time, they got the potential to continue to grow.
I think it's fair. Like Nick said, the numbers are the numbers. You see they're all at the bottom of the league, and last year he played, certainly that second half of the season, he played better. And you have a Super Bowl caliber defense.
And O-line.
Yeah, and so he is right now their weak link. So, yeah, I think I agree. I think, Nick, he can bounce back and maybe be their franchise quarterback. But right now, like, they could do something special this year if he plays just pretty good. He's not even that pretty good.
And you don't give him any credit for the fact that he's been able to bring him back 4 times.
I think that's good, yeah.
You do look for that in quarterbacks, their ability to
I just wonder why it's so bad in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, the fact that he doesn't get rattled is his best trait.
Start your Saturday strong. Michigan Northwestern. This one's at Wrigley Field. It'd be great. Big noon kickoff starts at 10. We're live from Wrigley Field at kickoff at noon. It's all on Fox. Tonight is going to be Patriots hosting the Jets. Biggest favorite of the week, 12.5. If anybody wants to take the Jets for upset alert, is allowed.
No, it's not.
Take it early.
It's not.
I thought it had to be
Yeah, of course. Friday. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about.
Jets have won 2 in a row. Patriots are due for a loss. And it's Thursday, Thursday games are weird. Any path to a Jets victory, bro?
Yes.
Ooh.
All those things you said. Thursday games, weird. Patriots young quarterback, won 7 in a row. Everybody's, praising them, talking about how great they are. Division opponent. Jets have nothing to lose.
True.
Nothing to lose. They've shipped out their best players. It's just, guys are playing for next season, like to impress teams or their own coach. Like, yes. I mean, I'm not necessarily picking it, but I think there's a path. We've seen more surprising things than this.
Yeah, I think this is definitely New England's game to lose. And unfortunately, I've been in a situation like this. My last year with the Jets, we were 8-2 and feeling pretty good. And we were a young team and hadn't had a lot of success at that point. And started reading all the newspaper articles, and things changed. And suddenly we lost 4 out of 5 games to teams that we probably should have beaten because we thought we were better than we were. And so that's the real risk in a game like this. Is New England's overachieved in a lot of ways. The quarterback's overachieved in a lot of ways. And it's so easy to look at the Jets and think they have no chance to beat us. And that's when you end up waking up the next day and thinking, how did that happen? If the good news for them is the Jets have only 1 turnover through 9 games. They have only forced 1 turnover, which is an NFL record low. So that should be good for Drake May. And I'd say if I were them, I would take Justin Fields and I'd run all quarterback-driven runs. I'd run RPOs, and I'd go the Tim Tebow philosophy and just say, this is what he does really well. We're going to lean into it, and we're going to see whether or not, we can beat him doing it this way.
Can we throw up the Pats schedule real quick? Because if I were betting the game, I suppose I would begrudgingly take the Jets plus the points because it's a divisional game on Thursday night. But this is every game the Pats play is huge in this regard. Let's just say they lose to the Bills and Ravens. Just say, for fun. Just all they gotta do is beat the bad teams, and they're gonna be the 1 seed. Let's go. The 1 seed, KW. I understand your point that you need to not buy into the hype or any of those things, but they're going to be favorites in Cincy. They will be huge favorites at home against the Giants. They will be favorites at the Jets and huge favorites against the Dolphins. The Cincy game is probably the only game left, other than those 2, where you're not going to be at least a touchdown favorite. If you can just handle your business, starting with tonight, you'll be 13-4. And the Patriots, 13-4 with an 8-4 conference record, are going to be the 1 seed and have the bye. That's
I'm worried about.
Tell me.
Classic bend, don't break defense.
Yeah.
We're actually the opposite. We are a break, don't bend.
What do you mean?
Defense. Well, I'm glad you asked.
Players.
Red zone defense. So we don't allow teams into the red zone that often.
But when they do, they get touchdowns?
We're the worst in the league. I can't explain it, but this is like, let's say we win. If we lose, it's because they get into the red zone. We can't stop them. And I've also seen Justin Fields play really well when he was with the Bears in that, I think it was a Monday night game or it may have been a Thursday night game.
Was it Bears-Patriots?
Yeah.
From a few years ago?
Yes.
That feels like a Thursday.
Remember it's the game that was like hit the wire.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Belichick started switching out.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to picks. That is dangerous, though. Coach, we'll start with you. This should be a wipeout, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I couldn't even take it from my upset alert. I'm going Patriots.
Thank you, because you like going.
I do like.
Listen, I don't even actually know who I'm rooting for, but I'm picking the Patriots. I can't decide.
Who you're rooting
for.
Because
I keep out the faintest of hope of the Chiefs?
Doing what?
I said I think the Chiefs are going to go 12-5, and so a 12-5 and be a multi-way tie for the 1 seed, or do I just concede?
Buddy, we got to get you some.
What do you mean? What do you think the Chiefs' record's going to end up being?
Not 12-5.
Okay, we can bet that.
I would love to.
Okay,
Patriots,
go ahead, bro.
Obviously.
Patriots.
Do it, bro. Oh my
Patriots.
gosh, that would have been great theater.
I don't know who I'm pulling. I mean,
it would kind of be fun to watch Wild.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That door slammed in Wild's face.
The door.
It'll be 8 wins in a row. Live from New York, it's First Things First overtime with Danny Parkins. He doesn't have his briefcases, but he does have some great takes. Talk to him today about it.
Oh, really?
Excellent takes.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I'm excited.
Wow, what great show leadership.
Packed takes.
Packed takes.
Packed takes.
First things first, overtime. Today, it's a fresh edition of Stock Up, Stock Down.
Oh, this cannot. It's too much.
Featuring Justin Herbert.
No.
That's too much.
Just
man.
wait.
It's another day.
Just wait.
If you
Katie's
got
going to bring
stats
us
for this.
another tweet in 4-point font.
No.
Yeah, that was,
Totally original material.
Oh, good. You were doing cover songs.
Yeah, that's right.
Meanwhile, who needs a win more, Josh or the Bake Show?
Oh, it's a Frenemies Thursday.
And it's Frenemies Thursday, and they're also frenemies.
Yeah.
Kicking around, talking about golf, having fun.
Love that.
Right now, we're talking about the Lions in Philadelphia Sunday night. Dan Campbell loves the hostile environment that he's expecting. Take a listen.
When you're a competitor, you just love it, man. You go on the road and it's you against everybody else. You go someplace, man, they wave at you like, man, we're so happy you're here to play against us. This is not one of those places. That's it. It's as far from that as you can possibly get. And it's just, I don't know. I loved playing in atmospheres like that, and I just know the type of guys we have. I think they're going to eat it up.
You love Dan Campbell.
He's just great. He's
What's
everything.
not to love?
Yeah. He's just fantastic. Who would a win mean more for, the Lions or the Eagles, Danny?
The Lions. I think for the vibes. I believe in them. I've picked them to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl 3 years in a row.
Oh.
They clearly believe in themselves, but they haven't obviously made it to the Super Bowl. But those true signature moments, they don't have. If you believe at all in the transitive property in the NFL, for the division, the Eagles just beat the Packers, who the Lions are competing with. Yeah. And then the next week, if the Lions then beat the Eagles, they'd be like, oh, okay, pretty comfortably. We just beat a team that beat the team we're trying to win the division with. But even more than that, I really feel like last year we were robbed of Eagles-Lions NFC Championship game because of all of the injuries that happened to the Lions defense. And if you throw it up from last year, they were clearly the two best teams in the NFC. I know this is going back to last year, but they brought a ton of people back. They're healthier. It was just, to me, overwhelmingly obvious that that was what we should have seen to see who was going to represent them in the Super Bowl. So if they lost to the Chiefs, obviously, if they beat the champs, they'll look around and say, who can't we beat? This would be a signature win of this era. It kind of began with one when they won at Arrowhead on Banner Night a couple of years ago. But for this version of when everyone agrees they can be a juggernaut, this would be the best win for the Lions in the last 2 years.
I do agree with you. I think it means more for the Lions. The Eagles, I think, look, their division, they are already almost have wrapped up, barring some colossal collapse. People would say, well, A.J. Brown. They could go out and stomp the Lions by 30 and AJ is going to have something to say, So that will probably become a bigger story if they lose, but I just don't think that's enough. I think he's going to mouth off no matter what. And for the Lions, though, do they have a signature win this year? When they stepped up in weight class, they lost to the Chiefs, they lost to the Packers. Now, they did beat Tampa Bay.
Baltimore.
That's a pretty good win. Baltimore was pre-T7. Yeah. So that was a terrible Baltimore defense at that point.
But they had Lamar.
Yeah, I did think that at that time I was not thinking the Ravens were a bad team at that point. So that was a good win. But the subsequent weeks took a little bit of shine off of it. But also their division. I mean, right now they're tied with the Bears. And then obviously the Packers are lurking, a half game back. So I just think they're in a far more tougher divisional race than Philadelphia. That's undeniable. So I think the Lions.
I think from a pragmatic perspective, meaning divisional race seeding, I agree with you guys, it's the Lions. Because the Eagles' division is locked up. Jaden's elbow is dislocated. The Giants fired their coach. The Cowboys have 3 wins. But the reason my answer is the Eagles is because I think the Lions are going to feel fine no matter what. I think while I disagree with you a bit in why the Lions didn't make the NFC Championship game last year, fact of the matter is the Lions have full confidence in who they are, and losing on the road to Philadelphia, I don't think will shake that. But the Eagles are what is holding the Eagles together, and this sounds silly, is that they're winning.
Correct.
And so there is something wrong with the offense. I don't care that the messenger is doing it via, headset microphone to Janky Rondo on Twitch. I don't care if it was scrawled on a gas station bathroom. It's true that there's something wrong with the offense, and it's all cloaked by the fact that they're winning. I don't think Saquon is coming to save the day this year. No. There was the brief hope after the Giants game before the bye. It's like, okay, Saquon's going to be back. And fact of the matter is, with that Giants game, he's at 3.9 yards per carry. You remove the Giants game when he went 14 for 150. He's at 3.17 yards per carry for the season. If the Eagles lose, it is going to be because, just my guess, their offense can't keep up with the Lions' offense. Again, if they lose, and I think then Sirianni, and I know you might not like this, I actually trust Dan Campbell, leader of men, more than the greatest coach in NFL history next to John, statistically, Nick Sirianni. And so I think a loss would wobble the Eagles more than it would Detroit because they actually have drama right now in a way the Lions don't seem to.
Is anyone putting good loss on the board for the Eagles?
Get 38-35.
That would be excellent. But also I think like watching an offense really be creative and do wackier, more creative stuff while they're trying to run the same handful of plays for A.J. Brown might sort of, shake a little, some more interesting plays out of the Eagles playbook.
The Eagles, though, they know they can win the Super Bowl.
Like this, you think?
It was. I saw some of this last year.
Yeah, exactly.
No, last year they had a guy who was on pace to set the rushing record.
But they averaged one more point. You had the graphic yesterday. One more point per game.
And A.J. Brown was reading a book, and there was weird drama and all of that stuff. Like I don't think that this is not a media creation. It's real. I agree with you. There is something wrong with the Eagles' offense this year, and I agree that A.J. Brown is clearly upset about that, and he is voicing it in suboptimal ways. I think we all agree on all of that. But internally, like in the building, they still are like, we're the defending champs with the cleanest path to winning a division of any team in the NFC with the most impressive resume of any team in the NFC. Like, it really, how bad is it?
Well,
they've already beaten several really good teams.
Right, and I guess my answer to how bad is it looks a hell of a lot worse if you lose this game. How bad is it if you lose this game is, we're in third in the conference. And actually, if Tampa beats Buffalo, which I know some people, you guys probably don't think they will, it's a tie for third in the conference because somebody's winning, Seattle and the Rams. Detroit, by beating them, leapfrogs them. And so, it's not bad until it's bad. And I guess the point I'm making is the Lions just changed play callers, which means there was something going on internally that alarmed them enough to where Dan Campbell took over. And we found out essentially because Dan Campbell showed up with reading glasses calling plays, right? I know it was reported the morning of, but there was no
smoke.
There was no smoke outside of it. The Eagles are, like someone on a deserted island creating fires of smoke to try to get attention, and that's while winning. And so I just think if you lose a home game,
that's where they're comfortable. It's like the Kobe Shaq Lakers for a little while.
That was what my takeaway was from Jalen Hurts' press conference. That he was like, you know what? This is my Thanksgiving's around the corner. This is my family. It's not all perfect. It's crazy, but this is what we got, and this is what we're rolling with. And it's like, I don't know. He felt comfortable in it.
What about the fact that if you polled 100 NFL fans, more likely to win a Super Bowl, Eagles or Lions? Don't you think more people would say Philly?
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be marginal. Their Vegas odds around the same, I would imagine.
Yeah, pretty similar. But I just the Lions didn't look good in Green Bay. They didn't look good in KC. I think this is a road game for Detroit. I think it would change more of the public opinion on Detroit than it would Philly.
That's Sunday night. Right now, We're headed to Baltimore. Lamar back at practice. He missed yesterday, dealing with a knee. Not a big deal, though. Ravens preparing for the Browns. It's time now for us to find out whose stock is up and whose stock is down. Danny's stock market report.
Thank you, Wilds. I think it's time in Rule like this to buy stock in the Ravens defense. So, you guys are going to have to follow me on a little journey here.
Okay.
Points per game last year. This is history repeating itself for the Ravens defense. First third of the season, middle third of the season, final third of the season. It was like, wow, the Ravens defense is bad. Hey, what's going on? And then the last third of the season, they were the best defense in football. Now, if we break up this season into thirds and how it's trending, it's ended up in the exact same place. And it was worse before, and now it seems to be excellent over the last 3 games. And I think this trend, Brew, is going to continue when you look at the offenses that are coming up for Baltimore. It's no one. Patriots do some things nicely. The running game is coming on. Bengals, will see if Joe Burrow comes back. Obviously, they can be explosive. But there's nothing here to me the rest of the way that indicates that the Ravens defense is going to fall off. We know Lamar can carry them in the regular season, but I think the defense is going to be chipping in the rest of the way as well.
No, look, I tend to agree with you. I think the defense, whether statistically it gets better or not, I think it will get better. The thing about those teams, you're right, who's going to test them?
The Bengals.
The Patriots
and the
Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Packers.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Packers. You're right. I mean, with J-Lo, we'll see if they got their things.
If the Packers aren't going to be able to test them, then we should write off the Packers.
No, I think
Stay tuned.
But I think they will. I'm just, what my point is, be like the Browns. If they hold the Browns to 13, which they very likely may do, that's good, but that doesn't make them the best defensive. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see them hold. They got to play that way against some of the elite teams. Yeah, they're not going to hold Cincinnati, obviously, to 13.
And they have Cincinnati twice, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we put that back up there, the teams the Ravens play? Because listen, if you're right that it's pretty
they'll put it back up, I got you.
But if you're right that the Ravens defense is fixed, then it'll be fine. I am less confident that the Ravens defense is fixed. I think it is clearly better.
Yeah, I don't think it's fully fixed.
Right. I think it's better than it was, but last year it went from awful to best in the league. I do not think it is anywhere close to best in the league. And I think 2 games against the Bengals, at least one of which might include Joe Burrow, 1 game against the Patriots, I don't know. I look at that very differently than you. I know those are their points per game ranks. I think they are only playing 2 bad offenses, Browns and Jets. I think every other defense can test them, so I think we will find out.
I will be very surprised if the Steelers
will just be tough. It's a division game. They'll be fighting for playoffs.
I don't think I don't think it's fair to say the Steelers have a bad offense. The Steelers have a league average offense.
I think it's limited. So I think if you do have a good defense, you're going to be it's going to be tough.
I don't know if I believe the Ravens have a good defense yet. I didn't think they looked good against Miami when they allowed 6 points. But I really didn't. I thought Miami moved the ball at will. Yeah,
it was bend but don't break.
Go ahead.
All right, stock down. Brew yesterday accused me of having vengeance towards Jordan Love, and I was like, you know what? It's fair. So I wanted to include the entire Green Bay Packers in it. Too many flaws. I wouldn't rule them out to make the playoffs, but I don't think this team can win the Super Bowl. And their defense is great, but I could have chose Jordan Love inconsistency. I could have talked about the Tucker Kraft injury. Could have done rushing. But just if that was the company you keep scoring 10 points per game, and I know it's a 2-game sample, but when it coincides with the Tucker Kraft injury and the inability to run the ball and the coach on the hot seat and we can't trust the quarterback, they'll probably make it because of what we talked about yesterday. I do think their defense is really good and they bought themselves enough of a cushion with how they started the year. But I just can't look at the Packers right now as a legit Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, look, I think they are. Jordan Love just simply has to play better. The Tucker Kraft injury, I keep bringing that up, but I don't think that can be overstated. Like that, I mean, he was their leading receiver, I believe, in yards. And, you know, having a tight end that's a security blanket like that is huge. And they don't have any, like, tremendous receivers. So, but I think they've got time to get it going. And, you know, I believe in J-Lo.
Yeah, so I agree with you, Danny, in that I I have not bought into the Packers fully this year. Before the Micah Parsons trade, I had them out of the playoffs, so you remember. And when they traded for him, I had them in. And I said Jordan Love I thought was the most intriguing player in the NFL because I thought the defense could be as good as it's been. And contrary to what Coach says, I think Micah Parsons is awesome and has been awesome, and that defense is awesome. I also think that these really deep, without a defined number one receiving cores are wildly overrated. Like the Packers, it was 2 years ago, it was like, man, they have 3 guys vying to be number one. And it's like, no.
Wicks and Watson
right,
and Reed. Who's the best one?
Right, Dobbs.
Dobbs
right,
too, yeah.
What you have is 4 guys overqualified number 3s, adequately qualified number 2s, and wholly unqualified to be number 1s, and one of them's going to have to be. That's why they drafted Matthew Golden, hoping he can be it. The reality is it was Tucker Kraft. And so I think that is, I agree with you, Brew, a huge loss. And I also think it's very rare, or it's very odd that it flipped like this. I just think this year the NFC is the far harder path. The AFC is just going to have, if the Ravens get in, the Ravens having to fight for their life to get in. Right. The Bills as a wild card. We'll see where the Chiefs end up. And then nothing but unproven quarterbacks and teams. And the NFC, it feels like it's going to be mostly the same teams as last year with experienced teams and deep teams running it back.
Yeah. We don't talk about it really, but like last year, Josh Jacobs was awesome. They were the best one of the best running teams in football, and this year they just haven't been able to do it. Last one, and this one that was teased here in the lead into the segment. Maybe the last chance to get Justin Herbert long odd MVP ticket. Now I missed out at 40-1, so buy the dip here, Nick. 25-1. Okay, I understand. He's probably not going to win, but you're a gambler. When you make a 25-1 bet,
Danny,
do you expect it to win?
You love long shot losers.
You
just love good value losers.
There's no chance?
There's no chance.
I mean,
Danny, I'll book it for you right now. I'll book it for you right now.
And everybody will have to fall off.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, there you go.
$100.
There you go. 100 to win 25. You're really committed to it.
Right.
$100.
I didn't want to be unrelatable to the audience. $100 on a 25-1 is a pretty good bet. Yeah. All right, hold on a second. So there's 6 guys in front of Justin Herbert right now for the odds.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just go through it. Justin Herbert has the same number of wins as Matt Stafford, and he averages 25 more yards per game. All right.
What about the other stats?
Well, Stafford has 25 touchdowns, 2 picks.
And
he's got 5 more touchdowns than him. The interceptions is going to hurt.
7 more touchdowns than him.
Isn't it
25 to 18?
Is it 25 to 18, 25 to 20, whatever?
Well, regardless, the picks are a problem.
Yeah, the
passing.
Yeah, exactly.
Picks, the interceptions.
The interceptions right now are going to hurt Herbert. But I do think that if he can get to 12 wins, and people look at what's happened with his offensive line, he is the worst ranked offensive line in football, but he's second in yards.
Can I say something?
One of those guys, Darnold or Stafford, is going to lose to each other. Jonathan Taylor, running backs don't win it. Allen's not winning it. Mahomes isn't winning it.
Hold on. Why? Just before you go real quick. Why? How are you're just dismissing Allen and Mahomes and giving Herbert a shot? Based on what logic are those guys out of it?
Justin Herbert already has a head-to-head win over Mahomes.
Yeah, they play again.
Yeah. And so you don't think that if Herbert beats Mahomes again,
you said Mahomes is out of it and Allen's out of it. What logic is there that those guys are out of it and Herbert is in it?
Herbert has more wins than Mahomes, same number of yards per game, 2 more passing touchdowns, and a head-to-head win.
That's great. That's not the question I'm asking.
Well, that's the question I'm answering.
What is the logic that those guys are out of it, meaning they can't get back in it, and Herbert is in it? Because if Herbert is marginally ahead of them statistically, and we have 7 games left, I don't think they're out of it.
Jared Goff is ahead of Herbert.
Can I amend the out of it? Who would you rather have a ticket on? 5-1 at Mahomes or 25-1 at Herbert?
Save that for bare bets. That is not. This is we're not doing. What's the thing you want to ask?
It's more gambling specific. No, your stuff is better.
Okay.
I just can't. If Herbert is doing that great of a job, then I don't want to hear how bad his offensive line is.
Thank you. This is the point I've been making.
But I'm saying his offensive line is literally not doing a bad job.
It's literally the worst in the NFL.
Then if it was, then he wouldn't be doing any good. What? That's my point. If I say, here's the thing.
He's second in yards with the worst offensive line, and they have 7 wins.
And they can't be.
But he's saying
I'm saying if I have the worst winter coat, I bought the worst winter coat on the market.
That's how good he is.
And I go outside, you're like, are you cold? Like, no. But it's just because I'm hot. Like, no, your coat's not that bad. Like, no, it's the worst winter coat. Like, it's not.
Listen.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
If he wins the MVP, he can't have the worst offensive line.
I don't even think he should be ahead of Jared Goff.
This is a great segment.
I mean, this
Danny,
is
you have
just
cornered
insane.
the market.
Why is he he's not in the race?
Wait, he is.
How about
you don't think he has a bad offensive line?
No,
I'm not willing to say he's in the MVP race. And he has all these great numbers.
That's the value part of it.
Hold on.
His running backs are injured. His offensive line is injured, and he's still producing.
This is Wilds' point.
Value.
Which is objectively true.
Oh, here we go.
If you he leads the league in passing yards, right?
Yeah, I think he's actually second.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's, say he leads it, or he's 30 yards out.
Yeah, he's right there.
Would you believe that a guy is going, if I said to you, hey, a guy led the league in passing yards, what's the worst you think his offensive line could be?
Yeah.
Would your answer be, oh yeah, he could do that with literally the worst offensive line in football? Or would it just be contradictory? Oxymoronic?
You can't do that with a bad offensive line.
With a bad offensive line, but with a bad, the worst. There's
can't be the worst.
The PFF screenshots
measure this stuff.
No, who measures it? Who measures it?
Pressures.
But again, Danny.
Pressures.
Danny.
You measure that stuff.
I do not believe,
Nick,
that I'm telling you right now, I don't think the Chargers have a worse offensive line than the Titans. I'm saying it. I'm going out on a limb. I don't think they do. Do I think they have a good offensive line? No. Do I think they have an average offensive line? No. Do I think we are going a little far because of the stupid PFF screenshots to just say it's just flatly the worst?
They've started 10 different offensive linemen this year.
Yeah.
More than any team. They are the most injured offensive line in football. He has been hit the most. He has been pressured the most.
Yeah, but again, part of that
is, yes, he's passing more than Cam Ward, and he's not as mobile as Cam Ward.
Yes,
that is part of it.
Yeah.
But he also has 7 wins and the most passing yards.
Yeah, he's having a nice year.
Oh,
There's a big gulf between nice year and league MVP.
I'm saying, well, right, 25-1. It's a good bet.
Just throwing money in the garbage.
Value.
It's not value. Do you know the value of a losing bet? $0.
Correct.
You've never, again.
I don't agree.
Danny, I have to.
I actually don't agree with that.
I can't tell if this was a great segment or not. Coming up next,
those are my
Frenemies.
favorites.
Excellent.
Frenemy.
You can have Justin Herbert at 25-1, limitless.
Yeah.
All right,
limitless.
Big shot. Welcome back to Frenemies Thursday. Happy Frenemies Thursday to those who celebrate. I was really happy to see this, that it's not just Nick and I. Baker and the Bucs, Josh Allen and the Bills, they're frenemies, both coming off tough losses. Baker was asked about his relationship with Josh. Josh the same. They traded friendly barbs. Take a listen.
I have to walkie-talkie to him because he's so damn tall, so I can't really have a face-to-face conversation with him. But, in Buffalo, it's cold, it's rainy. Even though he's 6'10", his hands are small, so he better wear his gloves.
That's crazy.
What's the relationship like with Baker?
Baker wears 2 gloves golfing, so he's that type of guy.
Can I just say, as the golfer between the two of us?
Yeah.
I've never respected Baker Mayfield less.
What does that even mean? Wears 2 gloves golfing?
Does he get little sores on his hands from holding the golf club? Come on, grow. What are you, a child?
Okay.
Sorry, back to the question. More important bounce back game, your NFC pick of Baker or my Super Bowl pick of Josh? 2 gloves.
It's Josh Allen, and it's less on him and it's more on the Bills' offense as a whole. The Bills cannot continue to be this dink and dunk cautious operation. And I think that it is time for Josh, and this is not an indictment on Josh. I think he's doing what the offense is designed to do, to put the cape on and get back to some more explosions. And yes, that might come with more turnovers, but we're seeing this year the turnovers are there anyway. Last year it's one thing when it's like I fully eliminated turnovers from my game.
Sure.
But that was aberrant and likely not sustainable anyway. But it's crazy that the Bills are on this graphic. Teams without a 500-yard receiver or pass catcher of the year. The Titans have a rookie quarterback. The Jets don't have a quarterback. The Browns have a rookie quarterback. The Commanders and Jags top receivers have been hurt. The Raiders top receiver Brock Bowers been hurt. Packers top receiver Tucker Kraft been hurt. I understand the Bills need to get back to being a scary, quick strike offense at times. And I think also the Bills need to steady themselves and stay alive for their division. So for all those reasons, I say Josh.
So I think it's Baker, and then we can go back and forth on each other's answers. But, Baker has an opportunity here to really prove me wrong and take them from what Brew would call a cute team to, all right, that's nice. Because I said I think they're going from 6-2 to 6-5 because they got the Rams coming up next. If they lose this game, all of a sudden, their losses are Lions, Eagles, Patriots, Bills, and Rams. No embarrassment.
Well, the Rams will not have the.
I'm saying if they lose
both of them.
If I'm correct, and they go to 6-5, that would be their losses. And I think we would all of a sudden be looking at it like, man, really nice story for what Baker has done for his career. They keep winning the NFC South. He puts up big numbers, but that Seattle win this year would be doing a lot of heavy lifting.
But that's my point. That if beating Seattle 38-35 and beating San Francisco does not do anything for you, then why does beating 6-win Buffalo do anything for you? Seattle might be the best team in football.
Nick.
They went to their building and beat them. And you it's not fair to just assign them a loss next week.
Okay.
So the folks that don't want to believe in Tampa, this win won't move them because the Seattle win didn't move them.
But I think that you would agree that Josh and the Bills have proven more than over the aggregate than Baker and the Bucs. I mean, Baker has one playoff win since he's been in Tampa.
Yes, okay, sure.
But so I'm just saying, so the idea of another big win, a signature moment and all of that for Baker, their offense hasn't been good either.
No, but
they were not good against the Saints. They were not good against the Lions.
My point is this. If beating Seattle and San Francisco and being 6-2 going into last week was not enough to move you or Brew or a lot of people, then beating Buffalo won't be either. And Buffalo is, but while I believe the Bucs can win the NFC, Buffalo is definitively Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
Buffalo loses this game, they are a wild card team. It's over for them as far as their chances to win the AFC East. Tampa does not only have a bigger margin of error in that regard, but Tampa also has next week to make up for it. I agree with you that if they go 0-3, Patriots, Bills, Rams, that's an indictment. But they've already.
But 0-2 is not.
Well, I'm saying they need to at a minimum go 1-1 here. And you know what I mean, over the next two. I thought they could go 2-1 in this stretch. I thought they would beat the Patriots. So that's, that 2-1's kind of downgraded to 1-2 at this point. But I just think that it will be legitimate to be highly concerned about Buffalo if they lose. And Tampa just has such a bigger margin of error if they lose.
I just have no doubt that the Bills' offense is going to be somewhere in the range of good to great.
But Brandon Beane does, and you don't.
I don't. Well, their offensive line is very good, their running game is very good, and Josh Allen is very good.
Yes, but it hasn't.
And their scoring numbers are good and their rushing numbers are good. It's their big play passing that has taken a huge dip from last year.
Man, I guess what I would say is right now, the Bills in the last month have more double-digit losses than they had in the previous 4 years. They have. You did this whole thing yesterday about the Chiefs have not won the division. Same with Buffalo with Josh. The Chiefs have proven they can go on the road and win playoff games in a way the Bills have not. And I'm not trying to make it about the Chiefs. My point is...
We'll get to them in a second.
Yeah, my point is the Bills all of a sudden, you were convinced, 2-game blip. Bills are fine.
I was convinced.
And then they got dog-walked by Miami.
After
if they follow that up with a home loss to a team you don't respect as a contender, that's a massive indictment. It's a massive indictment.
I expect the Bills to win comfortably. To Denver to talk about those Chiefs. Chiefs are coming off a bye. Andy Reid has been dominant off the bye, but the Chiefs are 5-4, third place in the AFC West. The Broncos sit atop that division, of course, at 8-2. Patrick Mahomes gets to see these Broncos twice a year. Yeah, here he is.
They're first in the division, and they have a couple games on us. And so it's huge for the division, and that's always our first goal is win the division. And so it's a really good football team. There's no way around it. And so we have to go out there and play our best football, and I don't think we've done that yet. So after this bye, let's go out there, put a great week of practice together, and find a way to win in a hostile environment against a great football team.
What's on the line for your squad?
The chances to win the AFC West, nothing less, nothing more.
Nothing less, nothing more. How significant is that, though? Because Patrick says it's the first goal that's put up on the board.
I would like for them to win the division. I will be picking them to win the AFC, and I think that the Chiefs have been a gift to me in many ways.
Yeah, no
This year, they have been a special type of gift because I have gotten to watch media friends and foes alike.
And frenemies.
Just really twist themselves in pretzels about this team again and again and again this year. From, oh man, what if Russell Wilson outplays Patrick Mahomes and they fall to 0-3?
I was just asking a question.
Right, and they fall to 0-3 to, I solemnly swear I'll never doubt the Chiefs again. They're the best team in football.
That might have been.
Yes. Two, well, if they lose this week, we just have to open up the aperture to they could miss the playoffs. So, listen, if they lose this week, I no longer will think they will win the division. That is it for me.
So if they lose this week to me, we will have a weird moment in time. And it'll stretch from the middle of November until the playoffs start. Because I agree with you. The Chiefs will make the playoffs even if they lose this game. I will not come in on Monday saying they are going to lose. Though their AFC conference record, I think, would be 2-4. Like, they would have to go on a run because their tiebreakers are not going to be in their favor. But that aside for a second. And then in January, they'd be the team that nobody wants to play.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of the pedigree that you talk about all the time. But between now and then, every team that would be on their schedule would actually think they could beat the Chiefs. If you beat the Chiefs in a must-win game for the Chiefs out of a bye, that will be one of the most shocking results of the NFL this year to me, and I think to you. You will be, they're only 3.5-point favorite. You will be shocked if they lose this game. Yes?
I mean, I would be surprised. I don't think it would be as shocking as Miami beating Buffalo last week.
Really?
Yeah.
I know by the numbers.
Denver's got a great defense. Denver has a great defense, and they're at home.
Listen, I don't really believe in the Texans game, the Jets game.
No, but Denver.
The Giants game.
If you sack Patrick Mahomes 7 times, you can win. You probably will win, and that's on the board of possibilities. I just don't buy into this. I was told the Chiefs' mystique was dead 6 weeks ago. So this idea, like what you're trying to frame to me, it sounds like is the Chiefs' mystique, which I was told was dead in the water.
I never said that.
And okay, well, a lot of people said it was dead in the water after the Chargers and after the start that they had. It then got reborn and is now going to be killed again. Like, who are these teams?
Like the Texans.
If so, you're saying that if the Chiefs win this game, the Texans are going to feel like we can't beat them?
There would be dude, this is a game they always win. This is a game they always win.
Well, yeah.
And so if they
13-1 against the Broncos.
Right. And Andy Reid is 22-4 out of byes. This will be I didn't see him losing to the Jaguars, and they did. I don't see them losing to the Broncos. And so if they do, it'll be like, man, they really can lose any game.
So it sounds like what you're saying is what's on the same with me. What's on the line for the Chiefs? Nothing but the division. Because you're saying even if they lose,
regular season
they're
mystique.
still the regular season
mystique is on the line.
4 years ago, they were 5-4. Nobody cares.
But no one in the division was 9-2.
No, one of your stupid Charger teams was 7-2. It didn't matter.
They weren't stupid. They were unlucky. Thanks for hanging out with us, Coach Mangini and I, ahead of tonight's matchup. Patriots, they're a 12.5-point favorite, biggest on the board, against the Jets. Patriots getting a lot of attention. 7-game winning streaks will do that. Here's Drake May ahead of Thursday Night Football.
We've had that mindset to beat Buffalo, kind of ignore the noise. Know we got to get some more attention and some more media. Just know that, it's any given week in this league, Jets coming off a win, and they got great players. So we got a tough task, and they're coming here with, wanting to beat in division. We're wearing, whatever jerseys, and they're going to, have something to play for, and they still do. So they're going to be, a tough challenge. And I think it's, like I said, any given week. So you got to prepare on a short week and kind of win that battle.
Coach, would you be ready to say if the Patriots, as we all assume, make it 8 straight tonight, that they're the best team in the AFC?
Yeah, they're making a pretty strong argument for that. And when you look at what they've done and all the different statistics associated with the team, and we used to talk about this all the time, there's so many that you could point to, but we always pointed to points per game, points given up and points scored. And when you look at where New England is, if you can bring this up, so in the AFC, they're 3rd and 4th, which you're saying, okay, well, they're not number 1 in either category.
Right.
The only team with this type of spread, the only other team with this type of spread is Kansas City. So that to me is the most significant stat. And then you look at Drake May, and Drake May's done a really incredible job. And his statistics across the board, completion percentage, pass yards per attempt, everything's almost first. And it's really been not just his athletic ability and the progress that he's made physically, but it's the combination of him and Josh McDaniels. And I'm going to show a couple of clips here where you see the pairing of what he can do physically, his talent level, and how it's married up with Josh. So if we can bring this up, this is the Cleveland game, and they've got Stephon Diggs. He's going to be isolated outside here, and he's set up with Mac Hollins. Cleveland's going to be in straight man-to-man coverage, so they're locked on the wide receivers. They're going to bring edge pressure, and that guy's going to end up coming free. Hollins is going to run a slant route, and then with Diggs, he's not even going to take a step forward. He's just going to drive inside. Now look at May. He's got the defender in his face. He's already let the ball go. This is before Diggs has even taken a step forward, but he trusts, based off the coverage and understanding that it's locked man-to-man coverage, that Mac Hollins is going to go ahead and be able to pick the defensive back. So now here's 2 weeks later, and Diggs is outside. They've dressed up a little bit different with the tight end Hunter Henry, but Tampa's not going to get beat that way. They're going to combo cover it. So he's got first inside, he's got first outside. They're not going to get picked because they're locked in coverage. Now what Josh does, he's got a little snag route by Henry, and then Diggs is going to push inside like he did on the last route, but then he's going to break outside away from the leverage of the defensive back. And take a look at this square here. You've got the end line, you've got the sideline, you've got the DB, and May's got to do a really good job of being able to place this ball to Diggs over the top of the defensive back. But it's separated by 2 weeks. You've got the lock coverage. You've got your best receiver isolated outside. The team, they score on the first one. Tampa sees it. We're not going to get beat on the same thing. They dress it up with a tight end. Now they run something anticipating the combo coverage. They run a beater there, and May does a really good job of recognizing those two things and then being able to get Diggs the ball.
No, I mean, that's obviously really impressive, and especially for how young he is in his NFL experience and actual, life. It's remarkable that they can do that, and he has been insane, and he's atop the MVP race and all of that. You picked some numbers, and they are impressive, and points per game and points allowed are obviously significant. I don't think I can get there with a team this young and this inexperienced in the postseason until I see them do it in the postseason. Because I saw Lamar, why would Lamar have any struggles in the postseason? And then he did. 4 years, and he still will have questions come January. Josh Allen, similar thing. So I don't think if they beat the Jets tonight, I can get there. And I want to show you just other statistics for them, AFC ranks.
Okay.
And they're good. They're good, but when you go a little bit deeper than the points per game, and then the thing at the bottom, like if I was in a math class, I needed it to be graded on a curve. Because I had no chance to actually score that well. I was like, calculus, and if you're solving for an inverse, it was very confusing. But like they face the second easiest schedule in the NFL. Sometimes there are teams that are ahead of schedule, things break their way, and they kind of take the league by storm in the regular season. But then when it's like, okay, we got to play Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, like teams with real January experience, and it gets tougher later, that feels to me like where we're at. Like is just youth and inexperience and an easy path through 10 games. Is that a reasonable counter argument?
Well, here's my biggest fear, and I went through this in New York. So my last season at the Jets, we were 8-2. So we were at the same spot New England is right now, and we were playing a bunch of teams very similar to New England. They didn't have great records. Everybody assumed we would just be able to cruise through it. And the worst part is the team assumed that we'd be able to do that same thing. So we end up only going 1-4 over the next end of the season and finished 9-7 on the year. And that was what Drake May was talking about in the press conference. We heard how good we are. We heard how we could potentially get the number 1 seed. All those things. And then we lost a game like they could lose tonight to the Jets where they shouldn't. And some of these other opponents they have, that's part of the youth that even before they get to the playoffs. The other thing I'm concerned about is the sacks. You saw the 15th in the AFC. They're 31st in the league.
Yeah.
35 sacks is a huge problem. And that amount of hits, eventually the law of averages catch up to you and you got a good chance of getting hurt.
Well, you're talking about your experience. You've got a lot of experience with these two franchises, and people are not really expecting a great game tonight. But I wanted to go back in the Wayback Machine with you here. Do you know what happened on a Thursday night 17 years ago today?
I don't know what happened.
How about that? 17 years ago tonight. 34-31, Jets over Patriots, coached by this man, quarterbacked by Brett Favre. Look at Coach Mangini. That was a Thursday night classic, Coach.
And it got a little hairy there. We had the lead, and then I think Moss maybe caught one late, and then we had to come back. But that was a good night. Anytime you can win in New England, when you're
I was just going to say, how satisfying was that win for you among your regular season wins?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
To our backyard right here in New York, Jameis Winston, uniquely situated by virtue of his position as the new QB1 of the Giants. We know they play the Packers Sunday. Jameis took to the podium yesterday and said he's not throwing away his shot. Just take a listen. You like that, Coach?
I want fans to know that I'm going to do my best. Obviously I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to execute, have a surgical execution, and just play ball, man. Like, this is something I've been doing since I've been 4 years old. Now I just get to do it in the greatest city in the world. I'm going to be saying it with my son. It's the greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's a Hamilton reference if y'all don't know.
Big Broadway guy. Big Hamilton guy?
I love Hamilton. I love Jameis Winston. I'm really happy he's playing. Everything's more exciting when Jameis Winston's in the game.
Look around, right? Anything's possible. He's a mind at work.
He's easy to cheer for. He's a great guy.
Lucky to be alive right now.
And I don't know if I'd be excited about playing against him because he's got a chance to hang 30 on you. That says he has a chance to give you
he'll throw touchdowns to his team and the other team.
Yeah.
Want to sing something? No? Okay. Enjoy Thursday Night Football.